Okay. Okay. Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to the first hands-on workshop that is building a content summarizer using Amazon Bedrock under AI for Bharat program. I am Chevi and I will be your host for today. We are thrilled to that thousands of developers have already joined this program. So, for those who are new, AI for Bharat is a structured two-phase AI program exclusively for developers in India, where we want to transform your theoretical knowledge into practical skills. And for that, we have so many opportunities for you as a part of this program, like weekly hands-on lab, live sessions with AWS experts, and a chance to win certificates and amazing swags. And there is a new challenge that is going live today, about which I will share some more details in some time. So, as a participant, your journey through AI for Bharat is divided basically into two phases. The first phase is the learning phase, and the second one is the building phase. So, in the learning phase, we are currently in it. It is dedicated to ensure our participants gain foundational and advanced knowledge of core cloud skills and generative AI using AWS services. Starting today, every week there will be hands-on workshop on different topics. For example, today we are going to learn about building a content summarizer application using Amazon Bedrock. You will also learn how to build application using a range of AWS AI services in the upcoming hands-on workshop on AWS Workshop Studio, including Amazon Q, Kiro, and Amazon Bedrock. If you miss a live workshop, don't worry. All sessions are recorded and made available on demand on official program portal. For getting access to the AWS Workshop Studio, you need to book your slot on AWS Workshop Studio via Hack to Skill platform. Once the slots are available, we will inform you on your registered email account of the platform. Okay, so now let's go to the phase two, that is the building phase. So this is the core competition, a national hackathon. Here you will apply your expertise to solve impactful real world problems for a chance to win from a prize pool of INR 40 lakhs. In the learning phase, for successful completing each hands-on lab and making the submission on time, you will receive the official AI for Bharat certificate. To earn it, you must successfully complete three main steps. First is the watch the required hands-on workshop, either live or recorded, of the particular topic. Second, complete the hands-on workshop and submit the proof, that is a screenshot of your end screen before the deadline. Publish a technical blog on AWS Builder Center and submit the link on the program portal. Okay, now moving ahead, before we dive deep into today's workshop, let me remind you of the ongoing Kiro challenge through which you can gain amazing rewards. We have launched weekly Kiro Heroes challenge. It is a weekly coding challenge where developers are enabled to build innovative solutions using Kiro. Each week, there will be a new challenge to tackle where you have to use Kiro's capability, including spec driven development, agent steering, and automated workflow to bring your ideas to life in a much faster way. What all you have to do is, firstly, you have to build your project using Kiro, include the .kiro directory in your GitHub repository, write a brief blog on AWS Build Center documenting how and what you build using Kiro. That should include image or GIF of Kiro in action. Submit your GitHub repo link and blog post through your AI for Bharat participant dashboard. To talk more about evaluation criteria, there are two things. First thing is blog with highest engagement. And the second one is quality of the solution you have built. Make sure you have added the Kiro file to your GitHub. What can you win? Now let's talk about the weekly winners will get recognition, swags, and the certificates. So for the swags, the winners will receive a mechanical keyboard and a M3 wireless mouse. The first runner-up will receive a Smart Ring, and the second runner-up will receive a Mokabara backpack. Again, these rewards will given out on a weekly basis, and each week there will be three winners. I hope I'm clear. Now, to take us through today's workshop, we have Shashank with us. He's a solution architect at AWS. Let's welcome him on stage. Hi, Shashank.
Hey, hi everyone. Thanks,
Yeah,
Shalvi.
yeah,
I hope
you're
you all are
welcome.
able to hear me loud and clear. All good?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Uh, Good evening, everyone. I'm Shashank, Solutions Architect from AWS. And along with me today in chat, we have Ananya, who is going to help me out. We are approximate 468 people live, and she would be answering the major questions. If there is anything you want me to repeat or do, talk about anything in depth, the last 15 minutes of Q&A will be doing that. Okay. So good evening once again, everyone, or greetings of the day, wherever you're joining us from. And today we are going to learn about Amazon Bedrock. I'm going to do a quick whiteboarding showing you what is this Bedrock all about, why are we learning about it, what all we can do. Slowly then, I'll take you to the workshop where I'm going to show you how you're going to run the labs and you can build something of your own. Yeah. So this would be today's part. And say around 30 or 40 minutes, you'll be listening to me and then we'll jump into the labs directly. How to access labs, how do I go there, everything I'm going to talk about it. Just wait there for a certain point of time. That's all I'll say. All your questions we'll try to answer as much as we can. Now, I'm just sharing my screen and we are going to get started. Yeah. So without further ado, let's get started. And I'm sharing my screen and I'll begin with our first slide, which is Amazon Bedrock. Now, folks, when you're building an application on AWS, whether you learned it using Q, Amazon Q Developer, or Kiro, right? Uh, at that particular point of time, if you are planning to build GenAI application, then you need a model. Where do I get that model? Where do I host that model? I don't know how to run a model or how to, make it work for me. There are too many model providers out there. These all things used to come in my mind. And at that particular point of time, a year ago, I came across this particular service, which is called as Amazon Bedrock. This service, it allows you to build and scale GenAI applications with those foundation models. Now, what is this all about? What is he talking, right? And can you give me a line or two? What are we talking about? So I'll show that to you. Just give me a quick second. I'll do the whiteboarding and show it to you. What am I trying to tell you, and where am I trying to take you there? Okay. So everyone, I'll talk about something which is called as. Just give me a second. Sorry for too many screens out there. Yeah. So all in the end, folks, what am I going to talk about today is whenever you're going to create an application, you want to add some GenAI component to it. Okay. So what am I trying to tell you is assume I am an insurance company which is called as xyzinsurance.com. People come and buy policies at my website. Assume there are 10,000 of crores of customers who are actually coming to my website every single day. I just sell insurance. I sell car insurance, life insurance, and so on. Assume millions of people are visiting my website. Yeah. Millions of people are coming to my website. You know what do they ask? They ask, hey, I bought a new car. Can you tell me which insurance should I go for? I have a good budget. Can I go for more coverage? My car met with an accident. How do I go with an insurance? What do I want to tell you everyone is, what do I want to tell everyone is that these are static queries. If I had some human agents, which are 10 in numbers, these 10 people will not be able to serve these 10 thousands of my customer queries incoming every single day. So, what do we need? We need virtual agents which are able to scale and they're able to serve to these 10 thousands of customers who are coming and asking these queries to you. Right? So at that particular point of time, we are going to add some agent capabilities to existing application. Now you will be like, hey bro, can you give me an example of it? Yes. If you have ordered anything from Zepto or Swiggy, if you don't like it on Zepto and you want to return the product, Do you call a call center? Not really. It's been really long when you have heard, hey, thank you for calling xyzinsurance.com. Your call is important to us. Current estimated waiting time is 30 minutes. Please wait while we get back to you shortly. And then that peaceful music, it keeps on ringing behind. But I'm like that kind of a guy who's just waiting. When does the agent come on the line? And I thrash him, right? I want my refund back. In today's internet age, when Zepto is able to scale to millions and millions of customers, there's no human agent sitting behind. All you do is fire up the help section. It does ask, do you want to help regarding your previous order? I say yes. Regarding my last order, I didn't like that particular product. I want to return. All you have to do is upload images and done. So who's doing it? A human agent? Not really. They are virtual agents who are talking to you. And these virtual agents would be powered by one simple service of AWS, which would be called as Bedrock. So, folks, when you're building an application, everyone, whenever you're building an application, you would be like, bro, I can create a front end and a back end, right? You would be like, I can create a front end and a back end. If this is my front end, www.xyz.com, and if I'm writing something, I want a response. You are like, hey, bro, I don't know how to connect my model. Don't worry. All you have to do is one API endpoint, one API call to our service, which is called as Bedrock. Your model will be hosted over here, everyone. This is your model which is hosted. So now you will ask me questions like, hey, Shashank, am I supposed to host a model? No, Bedrock will host. It is a serverless service, which means I don't have to worry about scaling. I don't have to worry about auto scaling. What if large number of people come? It will be able to handle that. What if large number of people go away without buying anything? It will be able to handle that, everyone. Yeah. So all in the end, I just want to say one simple thing to you. Bedrock is where your model will be hosted. Now you would be like, I need Claude. Yeah. Someone would be like, I don't need Claude. I need this. I need that. Yes, we have 7+ model providers available there. Yes, we have 7+ model providers available over there. Every day there is one new which is being launched. If I talk about models, every day there's one new launched. For example, Claude Opus would be there. Yeah, it is able to perform X times faster than the previous versions, and it's available on AWS. And that's what you will see in the news as well. Yeah. So all in the end, I just want to say 7+ model providers are there, 40+ models are available there, everything available in one click, and that is a Bedrock, which we are going to learn today. It is able to add some agentic or GenAI capabilities to your application. Do I have to do a lot of line of change of code? Not really. One single API invocation you need to do, and you're sorted. What that API call would be, I'll talk about it a little later slowly. Yeah. So you learned how to build an application using Kiro. All you're supposed to do is build an API integration and you will have a model hosted on Bedrock. And that's what I'm going to talk about shortly today. Yeah. Now you will be like, hey, bro, how does this Bedrock look like? I'll show that to you on the console. How do I choose out of these all model providers? Which particular model is going to fit me? As a solutions architect, I'll tell you is one simple thing all you have to do is it depends upon your use case. Yeah. We have so many model providers there. It depends upon your use case. So quickly, I'll make you run through the slides, introduce you to Amazon Bedrock, and in between, we'll do a little here and there. And later, we'll jump onto the console. We'll begin with the workshop part. How to access everything will be told to you. So please just be patient enough and we'll see that. Okay. We'll see that shortly. Now, to begin with, everyone, all I told you was customers are building generative AI applications. Our customers are asking, so many models available there. Which model should I use? What did I say? You're going to use a model which fits your use case. How many model providers are there? I'll show that to you. A little patience, and we'll see that shortly. How can I build quickly? Just with an API. That's it. So, am I supposed to do a lot of line of chain of code to bring GenAI capabilities to my application? Not really. Yeah. And lastly, if I'm going to use Amazon models or third party models, is my data safe? Yes, the data is safe, and we're going to talk about that soon. Cool. Okay. So these are things we are going to talk about. So Amazon Bedrock, likewise, I said, build and scale your Gen applications on AWS. All those models available using single API click. Model customization is needed. These models are trained way back in past, everyone. Yeah. They are not having internet access. So you'll have to train them. And we'll cover that in upcoming slides. We'll quickly talk about RAG in a line or two shortly. And you have an upcoming workshop on RAG as well. So I'll try to keep it crisp and precise. And later we'll talk about agents which are going to do multitask for you. A little bit about security, privacy, and safety. While am I making you go through all of these things, once again, I'm trying to tell you everyone, entire content of a workshop is covered here, major part, so do not worry about it. It is meant to enable you, prep you before we jump into the console. Now, Bedrock, again, I said, degree of freedom, you choose a model of your choice, you can customize, you can integrate using single API, and your data is safe and secure with us. We do not give your models to, or we do not give your data to train the models, and so on, everyone. Okay, fine, all good? Yep. So moving further, these are the model providers of my choice. When I will go in the playground, I'll show you what I was trying to talk about. If I'm going to create an application which is chatty in nature, you're chatting with the application, chatting with the robot, and the robot is doing things for you. I feel you would be using something which is called as Anthropic Claude. Likewise, I said the slide is a little dated. You have the latest and greatest models also available, which are rolled today. Okay, so it will keep on coming on Bedrock. We'll see that. If you want to use chatty applications, it will be Anthropic Claude. If you want to generate images in Gen AI application, then you will use something which is called a Stable Diffusion, or you will use something which is called as Amazon Titan Image Generator. Yeah. Similarly, depending upon all your use cases, you will choose a model of your choice. Okay. Now, where do you choose? How do you go there? I'll show that to you. Okay. Till then, there is one family which I wanted to introduce to you is Amazon Titan family. This is the models. These are the model family which is being provided by Amazon. So we call it as first party models provided by Amazon. All the use cases are given to you on your screen. Whether you want to generate text, whether you want to do multi-embeddings, or whether you want to generate an image, Amazon Titan will come into picture. What's the benefit of Amazon model versus other models? Yes, output which is generated by Amazon Titan models, it will be protecting you from indemnity clause, basically. So if anyone is filing a copyright against you, the output which is generated by these models will take care of the legal expenses there. Go offline and read it about it. Furthermore, that's one of the major advantages, and performance-wise, cost-wise also, they would be excelling in the domains wherever it is being mentioned there. So what you will do, you will be the devil's advocate. You will be like, this is the model I want to compare, and this is a Nova model. I'll make them both fight. Clash of Titans, right? You'll give the same prompt, you'll compare this output, this output. Yep. And then you will be like, whichever is better in accuracy, whichever is better in relevancy, which is better as per what I want, as per my use case, then that one is the one which I'm going to select and proceed further. That's the model of my choice. That you will do it in Playground feature, which is available in Bedrock. Okay, I'll take a pause here. What I'll do, I'll jump into my console and I'll show you a few things. If you're seeing anything extra on the screen, do not worry how to come in there. I'll show that to you. I'll get into my AWS console first, everyone. That's my AWS account. Where am I going in? And today we are going to work on a service of AWS, which is called as Amazon Bedrock. Yep. Okay. So we are going in Bedrock. Now you were like, hey, Shashank, show me the models where they are available to me, right? They are available to here, over here. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about 7+ model providers there, 40+ models available there. Don't worry about anything. Okay. Fine. What did I tell you? What do you need to know? What is a use case like? What are you building today? So I said, if I want to build text today, right? See, automatically those models will come where you're going to generate some text. If you wanted to play with images there, then I'm sorry, at that particular point of time, if I select this, Titan came, Stable Diffusion came, right? So you don't have to cram, you don't have to remember anything. What is the use case? Put the filter accordingly, and you get the models. Now, out of 40, if you decide that these two models are the ones which I want to play with, where you will go? You will go into something which is called as playground. That's again a feature of Amazon Bedrock where you will go and play. So this is a playground where I'll go and play. Right now, I'll select a model. Yeah, I want to compare how does it perform. So I'll select Anthropic, I'll select Claude, and I'll apply. Yeah. Now I'll say write a note on India since its independence in 1945. Yeah. I'm just saying it. Write a note for me. Right. Okay. So ideally, I'm expecting one paragraph, two paragraphs. Yep. So see, it made small correction. India gained independence on this in 1947, not 1945. And after that, it even told me what all era it is, and so on and on and on and on and on. Okay. Now, I want to compare it with another model. I was like, I have two models in my mind. Yeah. So I'll compare. So one was Claude. Now let me go to Amazon, and you said Nova Pro is good for text. Let's select that. Yep. Every model will work differently. It depends on your use case. So again, I'll write the same thing. Write a note on India since its independence and tell me in last 50 years. So what am I writing? I'm writing something which is called as an input prompt. What am I expecting? I'm expecting a response to come. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to compare two models. One on the left is Claude, another one on the right is Nova Pro. Yep. What will I compare? I'll show that to you. So depending upon my internet connection, whatever I have requested, it will take certain amount of time. This came up a little faster. This will take a little time. Yeah. But see this, India since its independence, last 50 years, transformative era, technical advancement, social progress, challenges remain, current assessment, and so on. Yeah. And see this now, India independence, political landscape, early economies, yeah, social changes, technological, non-alignments, yeah, recent developments, performance in last 50 years, yeah, and a conclusion. Yep. What are you seeing? You are seeing the model on the right-hand side, it loaded faster. Yep. What else you're seeing? The amount of milliseconds it took, it is faster. Then what you will compare, what is the response quality like? Right? If I'm expecting that it has to be crisp, precise, concise, I like this one then. But if I'm like, hey, it has to be this way, this way, this way. So what you will do, you will evaluate the models based on what? Based on accuracy, brand relevancy, based upon your use case, right? And apart from that, then the amount of milliseconds and amount of tokens it consume. Now, why tokens it consume, everyone? Can you tell me in the chat why tokens we are measuring? Everyone? Anyone you would be able to tell me why we are talking about tokens? Can anyone tell me why are we measuring tokens? What we did was we compared one model here and we compared the second model here, right? Why are we measuring tokens? Tokens for cost, right? So basically, this is your input prompt and this is your response. In Bedrock, we are billing you based on tokens. Yeah. So what is definition of token per model? It changes. Token in characters, there is some ratio, mathematical ratio. I want you to go and Google it up, right? But all in the end, you are billed based on your tokens, everyone. Yeah. Okay. You are measured based on your tokens. So your pricing is based on your input token, output token. Getting it? So what am I trying to tell you? If I wanted 140 characters only, and if it gave me two paragraphs, right? Then this is too much of data. I should have written in the prompt, please answer within 140 characters only. because I want to control my response length because I measured the output in form of tokens. So your billing is dependent upon tokens, everyone. Yeah, input token, output token. Make sense, everyone? Yeah. And this is how you compare your models using something which is called as playground. Depending upon your use case, everyone, you are going to compare from 40 models. You would be like, if I want to create a text or chat, then I'll select these three models. You will compare them, you will compare them in playground, and then you will be like, bro, this is a model which is fitting my use case, and I'm going to go with it. Yep. Okay. But then what is the problem I told you, everyone? That these models are trained in past. So we'll talk about them a little later. Cool. Moving a little further, everyone. This is what model evaluation you do. You are like, this is my data set. I want to evaluate whether it is automatic or human way. You will have in-house people, then you will use 5 4 3 2 1 rating, and you will be like, hey, let's evaluate the model against what? Against accuracy, brand relevancy, and all your custom metrics. And then you'll be like, this is a model of my choice. Yep. This is how you reach. Cool. Like so this Likert cert which I was talking about, 5 4 3 2 1, this is evaluation done, and this is how you compare whether model A is performing well or model B is performing well, whether you want to do it automatic or you want it to be done by humans. This is example of humans out there, and this is example of automatic evaluation. Yeah. Likert cert 5 4 3 2 1, it is being filled by humans there. Yeah. You can have your own data sets or you can have your custom data sets. You can have your metrics which are defined by us, or you can predefine, use the predefined ones. And that's how you select from 43 to 1 the model of your choice, everyone. Yeah. Now, what did I say? I had said these models are trained way back in past, everyone. Yeah, they are trained way back in past. So what do you want to do? You want to customize these models, everyone. You want to customize these models to make these models work for you. Okay? You want to make these models work for you. So customizing models will come into picture. First will be is prompt engineering. When I was writing something to the model, it was called as input prompt, and I am expecting it to generate a response. So there would be different type of prompts. Single short prompt, you will get into depth there. All you have to understand is you are making the model work for you. That will be prompt engineering. Okay. The next up is RAG, retrieval augmented generation. I'll quickly talk about it very slowly. Yeah. All in the end, I just want to tell you everyone is very simple term. Yeah. This is me. I have arrived in Paris. And if I say restaurants near me on Google Maps, if I say restaurants near me, okay, at 4 p.m., then what Google will do? What it will do? It will do something which is called as what? It will show you all the restaurants which are nearby for high tea. Does that make sense? Yes, it will show all the restaurants in Paris nearby which are for high tea. It will not show restaurants nearby for lunch. It will not show restaurants which are in India. It understands I'm in Paris right now. So, how does it understand? It understands my latitude, longitude. It understands my vegetarian preference or non vegetarian. It remembers that current my latitude, longitude is in Paris. And along with that, it understands that it is 4 p.m. So, definitely Shashank is looking for high tea, or little later, if he's pinging or checking, he's looking for dinner. Did I say all these things when I mentioned restaurants nearby me? Not really. Yes, all I wrote was restaurants near me, and with that, this something was passed on, and based on that, you see the results to you. Yes. Now, now, assume that, assume one simple thing, that if there are 100 restaurants in Paris, right? This model was trained way back in past, everyone. It doesn't have access to internet. In Bedrock, it doesn't have access to internet. Your data does not leave your region, and hence it is safe there. Yeah, we are not going to provide a data to anyone. So now think about it like, what if there is a new restaurant you have launched, right? And you want to show that to everyone. Yeah. So at that time, RAG comes into picture, everyone. So what we do is, everyone, that these are 100 restaurants and there is 101 restaurant 101 which has come up. What we do, we break this down into tiny, tiny things which is called as chunks. These chunks will be stored in form of embeddings somewhere, right? And these vector embeddings will be stored in something which is called as vector store. Yeah. On AWS, you're going to store it in something which is called as open search, or else in something which is called as pine cone, or else in something which is called as chroma db, and so on, everyone. Yeah. So these are all small, small options. Or else for bigger brands, it would be is MongoDB Atlas. Yeah. And so on. Okay. Yep. In your labs, you may be doing ChromaDB or you may come across RAG. This is what is happening. New restaurants is coming. You're breaking it down. That is called as chunking. And then you are converting it into embedding. And then you're going to store it in a place which is called as vector store. So basically, when you are searching for restaurants near me, then what is happening is this is a user query. Along with that, we are adding the latitude, longitude, we are adding the time, right? We are adding your veg preferences, veg, non-veg. That is called as augmentation. Yeah, that is called as augmenting something to the user query and then retrieving the data to the model, right? And then the response comes to you. That is something which is called as retrieval augmented generation, RAG. Okay, I'm showing it to you in very short that this was your query restaurants near me. There was something added to it. It's called augmentation, retrieving the new 101 restaurant and being shown to you. And that's how the new restaurant 101 would be shown to you, right? When you're searching for restaurants in Paris. That is RAG. We will talk about RAG in depth in upcoming sessions, so I'm parking it here. But but doing this particular part, if you want it to be managed, you are like, bro, Shashank, I just don't have too many people in my team. I can't do it. I want someone to do it for me at that particular point of time. You want a managed RAG, right? And that particular part would be something called as knowledge base for Bedrock in AWS. Okay, so go and look for this, what it is, knowledge base for Bedrock. Go and check it out. It is going to help you out. Okay, it is called as managed RAG, doing everything end to end so that a new restaurant, if it comes, it will be available in your vector store. Cool. Another example of RAG, very simple way. You bought an iPhone 15, iPhone 16, or iPhone 17, or you bought a Samsung new phone. Whenever you buy a new phone, you want to set a wallpaper. I'm 90s guy, guys. Yeah, so definitely I wanted to, customize my phone according to the wallpaper. And when I do that wallpaper search, if you are on a Samsung phone or if you're on an Android phone, and if you search for that, it will only show for the brand you're looking for. Right? If you wanted to buy a black t-shirt or black shirt, you only see black shirts out there. Vector search, search with meaning, semantic search. This is what we are talking about, everyone. Okay, so just go and correlate. That will help you out, everyone. That is RAG. And now, if I've taken a model of my choice, and if I wanted to bring it into medical industry terms, and I wanted it to do one particular task really well, at that time we call it as fine tuning. And if I wanted the model to do overall good in the medical fraternity, then I would have done as a continuous training, pre-training on non-labeled data sets. At that time, you'll go for this option, which is called as continuous pre-training. All in the end, I just want to say everyone one simple thing, that if you have picked up a model which is a general model, if you're throwing it in a medical fraternity or medical field, it won't understand the lingos what doctors speak about. If you want to excel in one particular task, you'll use fine tuning. If you wanted to excel whole medical fraternity and pick up the lingo, you'll go for continuous pre-training where you will use non-label data sets. Now, while we are moving towards the right, the more and more you go towards the right, your complexity, your time, quality, everything will increase. Your time, efforts will increase. If you are like, hey, bro, I want to create a model of my own, extreme right, more money, right? More efforts. Yeah. So these are small, small things you will come across when we talk about customizing the model on AWS. If you're prompting to AWS, Some prompts work, some don't. You want to save it sometimes. What worked for me, what didn't work for me, rather than keeping it as a memory, you can have it in prompt management. And apart from that, then you can have prompt flows. Hey, if this, then that, if this, then that, if this, then that. You can do all those things. You can do A B testings. You can see what works, what doesn't work. If you want to say goodbye to the older one, you will do it slowly by giving some traffic to the new one. Slowly, everyone goes to the new one, and you say goodbye to the old. That is your blue green testing. Go and check it out. Yeah. So that's how you can use prompt flows. Knowledge base, everyone, which I talked about. What did I say? It is called as a managed RAG. Yep. So whenever you are searching for restaurants nearby me, it is going and finding it here. At that time, we are going to add something to your user query. Along with that, whatever input your user query, plus those augmented things, it will be passed on to a model, and the model will show 101th restaurant in Paris. It's a managed pipeline. It will handle what? If there is a new restaurant, how it will digest the data, how it will fetch the newest 101, and how to add something about the user, augmenting it to the user query. Everything will happen here. Apart from that, if I'm in Sydney and if I had booked for, a work trip, and my manager says, "Hey, Shashank, you may have to stay back for 1 day," I'll be like, "Yes, but booking tickets is pain. Booking flights again and hotels is pain." So I just fire up my chatbot and I'll be like, "Hey, extend my stay for 1 day." It's not going to ask me, today is 25th, tomorrow is 26th, should I reschedule to 26th? No. It will automatically understand the context that today, if it is 25th, tomorrow it is 26th. And if I fly frequently via Singapore Airlines, which is my preferred one, then it will automatically book Singapore Airlines morning flight for me. It will just ask me for a confirmation, and that's it, done. Similarly, my hotel request extension will go away and it will do things for me. So, what am I trying to say is it can remember your sessions, it can remember if you're coming back again, it won't ask, "Hey, prove who you are, give me your last 5 digits and everything." Nothing. It remembers where we left last and it will help you out. Yeah. And it will also say that, "Hey, Shashank, I got this data from here and this is where, I'm referring to." So that's how it increases the transparency and reduces hallucination. Yeah. When you're breaking down the data into small, small parts, that is called as chunking. There are different type of chunkings. You can select the one as per your use case. Okay. Remember, every time it has to fit a use case. Cool. You can upload a PDF, you can parse it, it will be able to understand. You can break down a complex task into small, 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 small things, and it will do that for you. It will aggregate the results and it will give a final result to you. That's how you can improve the accuracy with Bedrock knowledge bases. You'll be like, what all I can connect with? You can send a web crawler to a static website. You can connect to Atlassian Confluence. You can connect to SharePoint or your Salesforce. So what are we doing, everyone? This was a module which I told you it is not connected to internet. Now you're connecting your enterprise data sources to it. And that's how this model will be able to get the latest and the best data about Amazon or about your own organization, xyzinsurance.com. Getting it? So models which were trained in the past, you're feeding enterprise data to it, but ensuring that nothing leaves the internet. Yeah. Okay. So far, so good. Yep. I had covered this in the past. I had said if you want a model to work for specific purpose, then you will go for fine tuning. And if you want it to work overall in the medical domain fraternity and increase accuracy, it will be continuous pre-training. And that will be done on large amount of unlabeled data sets. Cool. So these are two often confused things which people keep on asking to us. Now you were like, Shashank, when you have created a vectors, where do I store it? You're going to store it at vector search. So our vector stores would be there. I said open search. There are too many other databases available there on the screen, right? Apart from that, I had said it's like you will have Chroma in your workshops maybe, and you can have something which is called as MongoDB. You can go for Atlassian, MongoDB Atlas precisely. Sorry for that. You can go for Elasticsearch and so on. Just go to the website, check it out. What all new vector stores are available there? With reInvent, I'm for sure there would be much more updates coming on. Just check it out, and no need to remember anything much. All in the end, I just said, if you're creating a Genie application, you will store your data in a vector format. And that's the reason you will be using those particular databases out there. Cool. Agents for Bedrock, like as I said, when I wanted to stretch my Sydney trip, then I wanted it to do some task. I wanted it to understand where is my current booking, find the bookings for the same airline, and just send a confirmation to me, extend my holiday stay, extend my hotel stay, and so on, right? All those things could have been done by agents for Amazon Bedrock. And that's how you can build agents at your end. And we are going to see that today shortly. Last few slides, all in the end, just want to say when you're going to build a Gen AI application for children's, if a bad guy is able to enter your application because of lack of security or any good reasons known to you, right? If you have not configured it well, the bad person would like to show adult pictures or adult, non-parliamentary words to the children. If I'm a brand like a Cocomelon, definitely I wouldn't like something like that to happen to my young user base. Yeah. So what you are going to do? You're going to implement some guardrails there. When we were child, young children's, we used to play around with the chalk. So what we used to do, everyone, this is a black ant, assume, or this is a red ant. Yeah. So what I used to do, I used to take a chalk and draw around it. Why? Anyone? Any idea why I used to do that? Anyone? You remember why I used to do that? Why I used to do that? Anyone? Anything which comes to your mind. Why I used to do that? Because the ant will just keep on revolving around this until you decide to remove that white border and let this ant come out, right? This is what we are going to do with our model also. We are going to define the guardrails. Hey, if I'm going to send a bad input also, you should not respond. If I'm giving a right input also, the output should be as per the brand's relevancy. So at Amazon, we are like, inclusive workplace. If I'm creating the app which is talking bad about women's, bad about children's, bad about weak people out there, right? Or if I'm biased against Asians or Africans, their colors, caste, creed, everything. No, I don't want my model to do that. So I'll ensure that guardrails are there in the picture. And this is what we are talking about, that you're going to set guardrails so as to protect your model from generating harmful content. If there are any jailbreaks or bad prompt injections which are being done to your model out there, you can have something which is like bad topics, denied topics, and you can block that. If by any chance I've created a trip advisor, and if that advisor is throwing out PI data, which is like my Aadhaar card or my personal informations, it will understand that PI data is being leaked out and it will block for you. This is how, using guardrails, you can block almost 85% more harmful content and it will reduce 75% hallucination and responses. That's the reason it's good to have guardrails in place. Last few slides, Amazon Bedrock. Likewise, I said, none of your customer data would be used to train underlying models. The data is encrypted in transit as well as in the rest. It's not going to leave your VPC. Data remains in the region where the API is being processed. It's not going to leave a region also. Wherever your API is processed, it will be there. After that, it is not going to traverse the internet. Yep. Neither 1P models, neither third-party models, whatever model provider you choose, your data is safe with you. And it is compliant with all these standards, framework controls, and so on. Yeah. Whenever you're going to request to API requests to the Bedrock, if you're doing large number of requests, we request you to go for provision throughput so that you get a discounted usage. Else, for dev and stage or for prototyping workloads, you'll go for pay as you go, no commitment out there. Yeah. Okay. How do I connect to Bedrock? You will do an invoke API or you will use a converse API. Converse one would be the new wave, how Bedrock is going to handle for all your incoming queries, which is going to come. It supports all major providers which are there using tool configurations. Don't worry for it. Yep. And with that, these are some links with which you can get started with Bedrock. Slowly now, I'll take you towards something which is like how to access a workshop if you've got the code, everyone. And along with that, then I'll begin with the workshop part. Okay. Any questions, anyone, so far? Anything you have, you want to ask, or you want me to cover? Then we'll take it up. Yep. I'm sure my friend Ananya is helping you out. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Now, just proceeding further, everyone. This is the email which I'm expecting that you would have got it at your end. Yeah. The email would be from Shweta Singh. It will be for AI for Bharat. And you would have got this particular email. Yes. Okay. In this particular email, you would have got unique access code over here. On clicking of this, you would be able to access the workshop exactly where I am there. Okay. The email subject would be AI for Bharat workshop, right? And that is how you would be able to access by clicking this link here. Now, all in the end, I just want to say this link is shared with you and three other participants. You all are going to work as a team together. There are equal opportunities for you all to try it out. This workshop would be made available to you for 48 hours out there, right? So you can go there line by line, step by step, at your pace without worrying about, hey, Shashank, you're a little faster. I want to do it slow. Perfectly fine. Don't you worry about it. Okay. So, likewise, again, I'm saying conquer, divide, and conquer. Work together as a team. Please ensure that keep this link safe with you. It's there with you for 48 hours. Good enough for you to learn and get started. Okay. Now, once you click on that link and once you log in via Builder ID, you would be seeing a console something like this. Okay. Fine. Here, there would be a link which is given to you, which will be my URL, and that will be my passcode. Now, for safety, I just moved out further from there. That is where my URL for the VS code where we are going to work is there, and the passcode is there. Right? Keep the links handy. How to access there? Just click here, scroll down, and you will be able to access that. Make sense? Okay. Now you'll be asking, Shashank, how do I get into AWS? Do I need a credit card or do I need, some unique link? No, bro. All done. We're all sorted, folks here, right? All I have to do is click on Open Console here. Automatically, it will take me to my AWS account. Does that help, everyone? Yeah. I'll wait for a minute, everyone, for you to join. All in the end, I'm just trying to say, find the email. You would have got an email. If you wouldn't have got, wait for our team to respond back to you. Don't worry for it, right? Once you're here, once you're here, you will have to keep two links handy. One for clicking here, it will take you to AWS account without any username, password, without any credit card, new sign up, nothing needed. If you feel like everything is garbage, go in incognito mode and click here. Automatically, you will be logged into AWS, something like this. Yeah. And apart from that, now I have another link which is given to you, which is given over here in the below event outputs. Copy that VS code as well as the password out there. For the people who are done, right? Yeah. While I'm waiting for others to join, right? I'll say start reading about all these instructions and we'll talk about that slowly and gradually. Yeah. Okay. So we would be beginning with this particular workshop where we are running it at AWS facilitated event. So we'll click here. What it says, click here to access AWS, which I already showed it to you, everyone. How to access AWS. Yeah, that will open my AWS console. Moving on further, everyone. Moving on further, it will be this is how you can access Bedrock. This is a service which we are going to work with. And this is a menu bar, which I showed you. It will expand and you can play with the playground out there. What did I do? You had seen in the demo previously, I had written a prompt, and with that prompt, I was expecting the model to give me a response. Yeah, here there will be input, output, measure those tokens, as well as the latency. You will see all these things, which is very important as a brand, which will help you choose a model of your choice as per your use case. Okay, fine. So what I had done, I had gone here, I'd look for Bedrock. Okay, where is the passcode, everyone? Passcode would be over here only. Yeah, just click here and then scroll down. There will be a link along with the passcode there. Okay, fine. And for the people who don't have access, don't worry about it. Just look back, learn along with us, and you would be able to do it. Yep. All in the end, this is a chat. right? I'm going to select a model. I'm going to select something which is called as Anthropic Claude. I select this model, and I want to say once again, write a haiku on AWS. So basically, it's a Japanese song or a poem, and I'm saying crack it on one AWS. So it says, cloud services soar, infinite scale at my touch, dreams deployed worldwide. What did I do? I said it, input prompt. I gave an input, this much tokens consumed, output, this much tokens consumed, this much was my latency, right? I want to compare with another model. I'll do this, and then I'll compare it, everyone. Yeah. And then there is something which is called as temperature. If I keep the temperature high, the model will be in a creative mode. But if I have to write a financial report on earnings of Amazon for the last financial year or this financial year, right? I don't want the temperature or creativity to be high. I try to keep temperature lower at that particular point of time. If I change that and if I write this again, write a haiku on AWS, the output will not be same. These are called as inference parameters, everyone. And that is what is part of your workshop. You will go and see that slowly whenever you're doing the task. Okay. So see this. This was for temperature one. This is for lower temperature. You'll understand this difference when you are going to write a one paragraph, one tweet, or one big page about certain topics. At that time, you'll understand what is the temperature, creative difference when you're playing between temperature 0 and 1. Again, I'll repeat, these are called as inference parameters, and you will see that in your workshop. Whenever you see that, you have to understand that he has covered it over here. Okay, fine. Yeah. So slowly we'll proceed towards our next steps, everyone. Yeah. Launch the development environment. Likewise, I said, you have to click here on this workshop. You will scroll down. You will see the event outputs. You will get the URL and you will get the passcode. And that's how you will be able to access the VS Code. Now, very important thing, if you're on Firefox, your browser copy paste may not work. So try doing that on Chrome so that your copy paste will work really, really fine. Okay. Yeah. So test that out and it should work for you. Okay. This is how you will put the passcode and you will be able to see an environment, which is something like this, everyone. Yeah. I'm hiding everything on my screen. This is how it will look like. This is my URL and the passcode had flashed sometime back in the past. Yeah. Okay. So this is my VS code where we are going to run something. This is a terminal where am I going to copy paste some commands. In the lab, they will say to you, please go to the workshop, go to the lab, go to this particular files, and you're going to do some task. Okay. So people who are asking, hey, how to fire Bedrock, how to call invoke, what is this converse all about? You will see that slowly, gradually, as you do this task, everyone. Okay. Now, Now, once I had launched this particular thing, right, it is telling me I have to copy paste certain commands into the terminal. So I'm like, yes, bro, I'll do it. See this. I'll copy this and I'll paste it over here in the terminal and I'll hit enter. I've created this file so it is able to give the response to me. And this file is over here. So what is it all about? I'm importing some packages over here. I'm creating a Boto client, right? So I'm calling a Boto 3. So I'm creating a Bedrock client there. Once you call the client, what you will do? Whom do you want to talk to? I'm like, hey, I want to talk to this particular model. And this is a model ID. So this is a model ID which I've got it from Bedrock, the catalog. I've got the Bedrock model ID. And then I'm writing an input to it, which is called as input prompt. I'm asking a question to it. I'm sending the message to it as a role user. I'm giving some configurations, inference parameters, which I talked about, temperature and so on. Yes, I am requesting for a response. So I'm going to send a request. So this is how my request will look like. And whatever response comes, I'm going to print it, which is coming over here. And that is what is explained to you line by line, where it is being shown to you. It is being shown over here in this particular modules. So don't worry about it. Okay, fine. So we will skip this particular step, which is running from AWS account because we are running an AWS facilitated one. So I'm like goodbye to it. The first task would be is how to access Bedrock console. I showed that to you. Now it would be about invoke model API. So I'll show that. Let's go there. What it says, hey guys, you need to go to workshop, labs, API, and open the Bedrock API. Yes, I opened that. And then it was telling me to import the statements, which was calling those packages there. Then initializing the Bedrock library, which we did. So Bedrock client was there using our Boto 3 we are going to call, right? Then we are going to request. So what will be my payload look like? This is what I told you we were going to do. And then I'm expecting a response. So what I did, I copied everything and I pasted it in that particular file and I ran that script by running it here, right? And I'm hitting paste and it was able to run this output for me. Okay. Yeah. So what did I do? I ran, just give me a second, the previous command, Bedrock API, and it gave me a response there. So you sent a request, you got a response, tokens got consumed, you would be billed for that. Yep. But billed for that when? When you're running the application in the real world. Right now, you're not being billed for anything. So please don't worry about it. I'm just trying to tell you that this is how it works and you need to know. Okay. The next up is your Converse API. I want my model to reply in chunks. Yeah. So at that particular point of time, you'll use Converse API. Now, when you're going to do that, you will understand that here I am, a user is there. I'm taking user and my model, user and my model. So there is a communication which is happening between them in turns. At that time, I'll be using something which is called as Converse API. Okay. Now, again, you will do the same things. How to do this, how to connect with it. You will run this particular code. So you will go to converse.api.python file. So you will go here, converse, right? You will go here. It is empty. All I have to do is copy this particular code and paste it over here. Yeah. And once I'm done with that, I am going to hit run. That's it. Yes. So I'm going to save that and I'm going to make it run. Okay. So we'll go a slowly little later, right? There are too many things over here. So you'll have to go and read about it. And then you will see a response. Whenever you're asking something, it will start responding to you. Okay. How do you run this? You will run it by writing this particular file and you would be able to generate a response. Yeah. Just ensure the path is same. And right now, you're calling the model as Claude. Okay. You're saying maximum tokens to be this much. You're limiting your output there. Yeah. That's how everyone, you will keep on playing with this lab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I told you about embeddings. You will see that embeddings in real over here. And then whenever you're building an application in GenAI, you want a front end to host. So at that time, you're going to use Streamlit. Now, all of that, having said that, Dan, once you're able to do all these things, we are going to show you that today we are going to do an application. That application is hosted on Streamlit. Now you would be like, bro, I don't know any of these tasks. First, I want to run everything. Best way to do. Best way to do is first go and copy this command and set it up. It's going to set up my context summary one. Okay. So let this garbage go away. I'll say clear and then I'm going to paste it here and I'm going to hit run. Yeah. Ignore these links which are given over here, everyone. Just click on this and it is going to open your Streamlit application. In front of it, there's CloudFront and it is showing you I can do these things. You can choose a model of your choice and you can compare the results. So today we wanted to do is a content summarization one. So we are seeing that in action. All I have to do is select content summarization. I'll paste a long Amazon block and I'll convert it into short. Okay. So I'll go to blocks. I'll take a biggest block. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I can't read this much. So what I'll do is I'll copy paste all of this content from here. Yeah. till here. Okay. So far, so good. We'll paste it here. And I'm like, can you create a summary for me? And see on the right what it is doing for you. It will be able to generate a quick summary for you. It will be able to summarize the whole article into few paragraphs, and it will tell you these are things you have to learn, or these are the things which they are talking about in this particular blog. Now you'll be like, hey, bro, this is a little more for me. I want it more shorter. Yes, you can do those things there. Yeah, you can do those things. Yep. All in the end, what I want to say is play with these buttons, try different models. Yep. And see the responses, compare the responses, and play around. How do I create the Streamlit application? You would be able to do it by running all the tasks sequentially. Yep, it is hosted on my AWS, and from there only you would be able to see this responses. Yeah, see the response now. By Claude it was different, and by Nova it is totally different, right? So I wanted to summarize, condensed big paragraphs into one or two paragraphs or one or two this. You can give further more custom commands and you can say, give me a gist of it, give me a summary of it. You want to do a question and answer with it, you can play with that as well. And it will respond to you, right? So what people do is, if an article is published once and have questions regarding it, you can create a Q&A chatbot and you can have that in handy, right? Okay, these are small things which I wanted to show that to you. You would be able to have your context summarization app today by running this particular lab. You would be able to see step by step, follow the instructions. You'll be able to see wherever you see cut, copy, paste buttons, click on them and copy paste that. Ensure that you are in the very right path. I showed you how to access your VS Code. I showed you how to, run your codes, and you would be able to get the solutions there, right? And that is how it will help you out. You can say, hey, explain me as I'm third standard kid or fifth standard kid. It will show you at that particular level. Okay, you would be able to do all of these things. All you have to do is first is prompt setup by running this command, which I did it in front of you. It gave me a CloudFront link, which I showed it to you, and then we did as a content summarization and so on. Yeah. So there are people who are having add-ons in their blogs, convert this into text, convert this into a different language, convert this into audio, and I create a podcast out of this. These are the examples what you could do or you could build in your application of your own. Okay. Last one small example of Bedrock before we call it a day. I just wanted to show you is something which is called as AI Stylist. This will help you understand where these agents are going to come into picture, how you will build agents in your own submissions whenever you're going to do, and you can reference that later also. Yeah, this is last 5 minutes of mine showing something to you, that whatever I wanted to show to you, how you can ingest or build it into your application, right? So think about like Shashank is going to United States, he's going to New York next week, and he's worried about what should I wear on the first day if I'm going to United States. So I'm like, generate a look for me. So what it does, it goes to my product catalog. It knows what all I have bought. It understands the fashion trends, and based on all of that internal data, it has generated a look for me. Yeah. Now it is like I have generated two looks for you. Do you want to go for formal or do you want to go for business casual? I am like, I want to go for formal. Yeah. So if I say I want to go for formal, what it does is it starts finding the product from Amazon.com based on customers' reviews. It finds the jacket. As per me, I like quality. So it is like based on 325 reviews, this jacket is of good quality fabric, and I want to go for it. Yeah. So it is showing some specific reviews which I would like to see. And based on that, I want to make a business decision, right? I want to buy it. I am like, hey, I want to go for this particular jacket. Then, which size should I go for? So what it does, based on my size preference, based on the brands which I bought in the past, it says, Shashank, you will have to go for M size, right? You remember you have seen these things when you're buying or shopping? Yep. This is how it comes, everyone. Yeah. So based on the product catalog and your previous history, it added the blazer jacket to the cart. Now I'm like, let's complete the lookbook. Give me much more ideas out there, right? So it says, Shashank, you may like to buy the shirt, you may like to buy the pants, ties, so as to complete it. If you see, it added the sizes, everything on its own. Yeah. And now I say, finalize my order. So it is finalizing it. But now what it is doing is it's checking whether it is going to be chilly in New York or it's gonna rain. And if it's gonna rain, what it is gonna do is it's gonna say, hey man, I've added these things as you requested, but in New York tomorrow, as per the weather agent, it's gonna rain and it's gonna be chilly too. Do you want to add the order that is the jacket or the umbrella? I'm like, I don't have an umbrella. Good to carry that. And that's how you add to the cart, and your cart will be delivered to this particular address based on your visa, which is stored with it. Right? With this, I'll leave you to your imagination, everyone. You can use this particular one for your own learning. Go build something with Amazon Bedrock today and post it on Builder Central, and ensure that you do all those formalities well so that you get your certificate, and may you win some goodies from AWS. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you have any questions, let's take it up. Over to you, Ananya. Over to you, team. I'm done presenting. If you have any questions, I can take it up.
Yeah, the session was great. So now the live Q&A is open. You can ask your participants, you can ask your questions over the chat box. We'll answer those questions.
So many of you have been asking one question, which is like, hey, Shashank, how do I handle APIs? What if the API calls fail and all? I'll tell you, automate insurance blog, Bedrock. Just go and read about it. It will help you understand. The chatbot example, which I told you, xyzinsurance.com, you ask questions, it can be automated, how you can place API gateway in front of it, and how you can, depending upon the user intent, call different agents. So you can go and read about these things, and it will help you to dive deep further into it. Okay. Any other questions, everyone? Anything else which comes to your mind? Yeah. Anyone else? Any questions in the chat?
So, Shang, there is one question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you please let us know how to access the AWS Builder technical blog?
I'm quite not sure which technical blog they're referring to, but I refer to these workshops and I'll be able to share that. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, anyone? Anything which comes to your mind?
Second question is, what is the model inference time in Bedrock?
I'll pull that up. Yeah. Either you do it a real time one, or either you go for something which is like a little later. Yeah, which is fine. So you'll go for this particular options depending upon whether you want it on real time basis or whether you want on near real time basis. You can go for these and you can save your money out there. So I recommend you to go and check this out. And talking about timing, talking about API limits and everything, I'll be really honest. At AWS, dream, build. If anything breaks, we are here to help you out, right? But just remember that one simple thing: if you feel any limits are going to stop you, then the smallest to the biggest brands run on AWS, right? Majorly, 80% of our services, or 75 to 80% of our services, are built on based on customers' feedback. Yeah. So I'll just say sky's the limit. Dream, build on AWS, and scale big. Yeah. Okay. So go and read about this, and go and read about what are the options available for inference types. Anything else, everyone? Yeah. Anyone
How
else?
to get the code base which you shown us? There was one question in the chat.
Sure.
How to get the code base? Yeah.
Sure. Folks, the very first thing I showed you is aistylist.com. So this is the one which you can go. It is aistylist.awsplayer.com. You can just Google this and you will get the code here, right? And the second one, which I shared with you, which was about insurance one, right? Automate insurance claims. So here also there is a code base in Bedrock samples. You can go and give it a try, right? So just look for this particular blog. You will automatically get into AWS Bedrock samples. You'll get a script to deploy it in your AWS account also, and you can do that. And when you're doing the labs also, everyone, all your code is made available here. All you have to understand is read properly and copy paste wherever it is given. Ensure that the paths are same, and ensure that you're only doing the things which are mentioned in the labs in this particular account. If you try to do anything else, the outside blogs which I'm sharing it to you, if you try doing that here, it may throw error to you. And these labs are available to you only for 48 hours. Yeah. I hope this helps. Anything else, everyone? So to complete this particular workshop, yes, it is recommended that you reach up till here. Do as much as you can. There is enough for 4-member team. So that's the reason I said divide and conquer. You can divide it between your teammates and you can finish it off together. Okay. And that's how I'm recommending you that once you're done, you will go for Builder Central, AWS, and you will have your blocks which are being published over here at AWS Builders. Cool?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah?
So there's one last question
Yeah.
after that we cover. How do we mitigate hallucination and summarization, especially when models compress complex or technical content?
Sure. So, firstly, if you're using knowledge base, it will show you the single source of truth. It will tell you, hey, I got this data from here, and that's the reason I'm able to answer, right? And second, then, to further reduce hallucinations, you will use something which is called as guardrails. It will bring down your hallucinations to a great extent, and it will ensure that your model is able to respond as per your use case, and it's working fine. Yeah, I'm sure. I hope this helps.
Yeah, I think there are no more questions. If there are
Cool,
any other questions, yeah. So you can mail us the support AI for Bharat support at hack2skill.com. Yeah.
cool,
So thank you everyone for joining today's session, and special thanks to Shashank for the session and for explaining everything so smoothly. And thank you to all the participants for your active involvement and energy throughout this workshop. Thank you so much, Shashank.
Hey, thanks a lot, everyone, for this opportunity and hope this helps. Feel free to let us know if, in case you have any queries, happy to help you there. Good day, everyone.
Yeah.
Happy building with
Thank you,
AWS.
everyone.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.